As much as I like the original steering wheel, I was looking for something a slightly bit smaller and kind of period, and I was fortunate enough to source this lovely Les Leston wheel. So it came with the hub, which I've got attached already, and it came with a horn push, and I've just got to figure out how to make everything work. But first things first, so I'm going to remove the original steering wheel. But before I do that, I'm going to disconnect the battery. All right, that's done. Now I can push this and nothing happens. So now I can remove the steering wheel. Right, the first thing I need to do to take the steering wheel off is pop the horn button off. Put that aside. And then there's the little plunger that goes in there, and that connects this metal tab on the back of the horn push to the ring, which I'll show you once I get the steering wheel off. I'll just put those aside. I need 1.16". I think it is. Yep. Oh, loosen. There we go. Now I'm going to loosen the nut off quite a bit, but before I take it right off the end of the shaft, I'm going to give the steering wheel a yank, and that way, if it breaks off suddenly, I'm not going to hurt myself or end up damaging something else. So I'll just finish pulling that out of there. And then there's the star washer. There's that one. Put those aside. I'll need those again, and we'll just pull that off. Now I have got the steering set straight ahead so that I got a good idea where the new wheel has to go. We'll put that off and we'll put this aside. All right. Show you how the horn works. There's a metal ring here with a wire off it that's connected into the circuit. This plunger, there's a spring with a braided wire in there, or a unsheathed wire, and a brass connection on both sides that goes through the steering wheel. That rides on there. The other end hits on there. So, and then this spring here is connected to ground so that when you push the horn button, it completes the circuit and the horn goes. That's the theory anyway. So that's how the horn circuit works in a nutshell. The steering wheel I purchased came with a hub, and I've replaced the screws in it. They didn't have a tapered seat, so these are oval head, and I put the acorn nuts on the back just to dress it up a little bit. I'll put this on. No, before I do that, I don't know if you can see that in here. I should show you on the back. There's the center hole where that goes in the steering shaft, and this is a hole for that plunger, and it looks like this one has been drilled at a later date because it's not painted inside, and that turns out to be very helpful. Now this was on a bug eye at one point, but let's I'm going to keep those as level as I can, and that fits right on there, nice and snug. I can put the star washer back on, put the nut back on. Now, the original steering wheel is about 17 or 16 inches in diameter. This new one, or new to me, is 15 inches in diameter. So it gives me a little bit of extra room underneath the steering wheel, and just a bit of a classic look to it. Now here's where the fun begins. The original horn push had this metal tab that one end of this plunger rode against, and the other one went through on that brass ring. Now, with the newly drilled hole in there, this does line up with that the brass ring, but this horn push only has a wire on it. It doesn't have the tab. The challenge is, how do I get the end of this plunger connected to the horn push? Well, between the two horn butt pushes, this is the one that was originally on the car, the initial activation is the same. You push the button and it connects this part of the tab to the ground, which is here. Now we have the same process in this horn push. Push the button and it connects this part here to this metal tab here, which is grounded to the steering wheel and then through the column. The difference being the metal plunger rides on here on the metal part, whereas there is no tab like that on the new one. So basically what I have to do is attach this wire to the end of this plunger somehow and make sure that the plunger is long enough to get sandwiched between the back of the horn push and that metal ring. Well, here's another one of those steering collars that mounts on the dashboard. So it's got to be long enough to reach from the metal ring that's permanently mounted onto the dashboard and the back of the horn push. I measured the thickness of the horn push itself, and that is 0.37. And then I measured the depth of the steering boss. So from the mounting face to the inside of that, to the inside is 1.7 inches. And then from that inside face through the hole, using my calipers here, it's 0.94 inches. So to determine the length that I need from this surface on the horn push to this on the dashboard, so I need to subtract this 0.37 from the 1.7, then add the 0.94, which results in 2.27. Now, this ends up being right around 2.3, 2.32. So I thought that might be just a little bit short. There is some give in this. So I went into my handy dandy collection of hose plugs or pipe plugs. So by putting that over the end, it just gives me a little bit of extra length. And although I'm not worried about it in this case because the horn push is plastic, if you have a metal horn push, this will also insulate that plunger from the back of the horn push. So that's one problem solved. This is now long enough to get from this metal ring to the inside or the back of the horn push itself. Next challenge, how do I connect this wire to the plunger? So what I've done, I don't know if you can see it there, is I've actually drilled a hole a little ways down from the top through the plunger itself. So my idea is I can put a little connector like this on the end of this wire instead of the push one. I can use a small screw and nut to attach that connector to the plunger. I've got the new little connector on the end of the little wire here. I've got my screw and nut through there, and I put a dab of crazy glue on the end here just to make sure that doesn't come off. And with my little rubber cap on there, that will sit like that on the back of that inside. And then that in turn will turn around and it'll run on that metal ring. So now we can go and put this into the car. All right, I'm back at the car now. I'm going to stick the plunger down that hole there, making sure the little rubber bit stays on. Make sure my lettering is lined up here. And then just press that into place. And that is good. Now I am going to see if I can find a Frogeye Sprite or Austin Healey Sprite sticker to put over this, over the the button itself. So now for the moment of truth here. I'm going to turn the battery back on, and hopefully I don't hear anything. Okay, so that's good. And moment of truth. Horn works. I'm really happy with that. And it was actually a simple solution to a problem that I've seen written about quite a bit. And the tiny screw I used was a number 2 by 56 by a quarter. And this is a package that I bought many years ago from Radio Shack for 98 cents. And it gave me 51 of those little screws. And then I had some nuts for them somewhere. So there you go. It pays to hang on to things because you never know when you might need them. Well, that wraps up another video. Thanks for joining me. I'm very pleased with how the steering wheel looks in the car. It feels nice. It gives me a little bit of extra room underneath to get in and out. And I hope you find my solution for getting the horn to work of some use. If you want to catch up on a previous video, I'll put a link to that up in the top corner. And if you want to see where this whole bug eye project started, I'll put a link to that video down in the bottom corner. If you have any ideas or suggestions, please leave those in the comment section below. If you liked the video, please be sure to share it with your friends. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget that little bell icon. Click on that, you'll get notified when the next video comes out. My name is Ian. This is the Econobox Garage. We'll see you next time.